and gentlemen, gather close now, for the clock has well past struck midnight tonight. I apologize for my tardiness, by the way. And the veil between the ordinary and the unfathomable thins to a whisper. I am Pete, master of mysteries, antiquary of the arcane, and the weirdest man in the world, summoning you here to this shadow chamber of the mind where forgotten horrors claw at the edges of reality and truths long buried stir in the earth like restless graves. Tonight, under the unblinking gaze of the moon, we descend into 5 abysmal enigmas that have clawed their way from the fringes of history into the minds of our fears. Feel the chill wind of Pennsylvania's Devil's Road as it carries echoes of cultish rites and spectral cries. Sense the deceptive calm of a Messiah's promise, shadowed by an Antichrist's grin. Stand among the dust-choked bones of Nevada's giant kin, their colossal forms mocking our frailty. Commune with the celestial scribe Metatron, whose quill etches fate in starfire, and leap through the fractured veil of time itself in Project Pegasus, where children were pawns in a government coronal gambit. These are not mere tales. They are fractures in reality, demanding that we peer into the void and ask, what stares back? We begin our descent now with 45 minutes to traverse these darkened paths, pausing after each to sift through your voices from the live chat, and closing with a Q&A to confront these echoes together. The abyss waits. Cross if you dare. Now, as we roll in, I do again want to apologize for my tardiness. Ran into some unexpected variables that delayed my start time. Now, I do want to point out that since these live streams have resumed, this is the first major incident of tardiness. So I have very much endeavored over the course of the last 2 months to arrive promptly for these broadcasts. And I feel a certain kind of way about being late today. So again, thank you for your patience and understanding, and I appreciate you all being here this evening. With that said, special recognition to our live chat moderator, Ms. Tina Tomaszewski. I'm sorry. We're doing this right now. We're not doing Tomaszewski anymore. Her real name is pronounced Tomaszewski. So we're gonna stop doing it Tomaszewski. We're gonna do it right. Tina Tomaszewski, our longtime live chat moderator. Below these many years now, Tina has supported the chat, dropping those links to the various topics that I bring up and directing you guys wherever you need to go in reference to the things that I'm talking about. So we appreciate your contribution and long-standing commitment to this community, Miss Tina Tomaszewski. Okay, what else? Let me see here. We have a bevy of topics for you guys tonight. Mixed it up a little bit. Wanted a kind of smattering of a few different things. Quick announcements. Next week's Midnight Mystery Session will be preempted. We will not be streaming next Saturday evening at midnight. Rather, we will do a Halloween special the evening before. So on October 31st, which I believe is a Friday, if I'm not mistaken, we will conduct a live stream at approximately sometime between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will conduct my live stream here for the Halloween holiday and will immediately, upon its conclusion, be joining the Unbelievers podcast for their live stream, which I believe begins at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that same night. So next week, we will not be meeting on Saturday. Instead, you get a doubleheader, a Friday night of Dark Sayings, followed by my appearance on the Unbelievers live stream. So pop it in your calendars. I'll be posting stuff up about it throughout the week to remind everybody. And if you are interested in maybe submitting ideas for our Halloween special, things we can address, talk about, any questions or comments you might have, do not hesitate to contact me via my socials and hit me up in my DMs. They're all open. I predominantly use X and Instagram mostly. Facebook is not a thing that I really like. It exists, but I don't really use it. So if you are going to reach out, Messenger's fine. I will get it, but I prefer Instagram of all of them, to be honest. Okay. So with that said, they got all that out of the way. Is there anything else I forgot to mention? I feel like there was something else on the list here, but it will come to me if it really is that important. I'm sure I'll recollect it at some point. Yeah, I think that's about it. What else we got going on? I'm kind of buttoned up all week with various topics coming forward for some shorts, and maybe some of you have noticed I've been clipping the live streams lately. I've been throwing up little clips of the live streams, previous live streams. They've been going up on the channel. Just kind of do a little quick blurb of information. I do have the other short format videos I have been making for a while now. I have not stopped making those. I was just in a pinch this week and needed some content, so I did a little clipping from the live stream. That is not a replacement for my standard shorts that I've been making. Those will be back in production. I've got one like halfway edited right now, and a couple other videos on the back burner that are already recorded and in various stages of editing. So again, thank you. Alrighty. I'm going to take a quick dip in the chat. Let me see. Yeah, I've been talking a little too long. So let me take a quick dip in the chat. Just say hi to everybody. Likewise, listen, we're going to do another Discord hangout after the stream. So Tina, if you could provide me with a Discord link, I will pin it to the top of the chat. Likewise, I will, after the stream is over and is concluded, I will provide the same link in a comment beneath the video if you are a late arrival and you're looking for it. So Discord hangout in the voice chat after the stream. No stream Saturday this week. It's going to be on Friday, Halloween night, followed by my appearance on the Unbelievers podcast. So Halloween night, look to be buckled in around 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to ride that straight through into the night. So hope you're all excited. Now, without any further ado, I'm not going to hop into a topic right away. I just want to scan the chat real quick. I do see a super chat coming in. I'm going to handle that immediately as not to derail things once I get going. Ginger Viking Jesus, my man. What's up, Ginger? How you doing? Ginger says, you're not in school, Pete. There's no need for an explanation. You're a working man and a dad. Life happens. There's a little more here. I can't see what it says. Let me blow this up a little bit. Life happens. FIDO. F it. Drive on. Antediluvian. Thank you very much, Ginger, for the $5 super chat. That is much appreciated. And you are right. You are right. I do have other responsibilities, but I do take this seriously, and I do value your time. So with that in mind, I endeavor to be punctual because I understand that people are waiting on this. And again, I don't want you to be waiting too long to where you tune away. So I thank you for your patience tonight. And believe me, I will not make a habit of it. So thank you very much, Ginger. All right. Oh, now we got stuff going all over the place here. Let me put that back. There we go. And then this goes here. And where is that? Where are my notes? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Now we're back in business. Okay. Oh. Pardon me while I wet my whistle with a little bit of the old Baja Blast. Oh. Why does that stuff got to taste so good? It's diabolical. It's diabolical. I don't know. It's like, I don't even like Mountain Dew, dude. I don't even like Mountain Dew. Like, it's funny. All these different Mountain Dews, and the Taco Bell one that got me. This is the Taco Bell one. So I'm a sucker. They got me. They got me with a high fructose, that corn syrup. But I'm trying to break a new record. I want to get diabetes by the end of the show. We're gonna endeavor that. I'm just playing. Probably already got it. probably have issues regulating that insulin. Okay. All right, folks. So this first story it's kind of a local one for me. On the fringes of the locality. It's a tale that comes to us from the border of Pennsylvania and Delaware. And it's one that's always fascinated me a little bit. So I wanted to share this one with you guys tonight. I did address this on the channel many years ago, but it's been a moment since we've talked about it. So I thought tonight would be just as good at any time to bring it up. So let's get into it a little bit, shall we? This is about the cult house and the Devil's Road. Is it a gateway to the infernal, you know? So I want you to imagine a like fog shrouded back road in Pennsylvania where twisted oaks claw at the sky like damned souls. And the asphalt, it hums with this like unspoken malediction, you know? This is the cult house. This is the Devil's Road. Once Crossing Road in Chad's Ford, it stands as a monolith of dread, a crumbling mansion tied to whispers of ritual, slaughter, and familial curses. Was this a portal to hellish pacts or the rot of human depravity laid bare? Step onto this forgotten lane with me and feel the ground tremble. You're driving alone at night. It's dusk. Tires are crunching over gravel that seems to swallow sound, where the trees close in like conspirators. Croissant Road, rechristened Devil's Road by locals trembling in their parlors, winds through Chad's Ford's haunted hollows, where headlights flicker and die without cause. Shadows twist unnaturally, and the air grows thick, laced with the faint rot of unearthed earth. Folklore insists the DuPont dynasty, those titans of power and privilege, once ruled from a stone mansion here, desecrating illegitimate heirs into underbrush like spent casings. Their wails, they say, still pierce the night, drawing the unwary to pause and listen. You grip the wheel tighter, sensing eyes in the brambles, unseen watchers from a bygone bloodline. Now the road spits you out before the cult house. Its facade, a hulking silhouette of weathered granite. Windows like empty sockets staring back. Built in the shadows of scandal, this behemoth once sheltered the Johnston clan. Bruce Alfred Johnston Sr., a kingpin of crime whose empire of extortion and vice festered in its halls. Whispers from old police logs speak of midnight gatherings where inverted crosses scarred the sills and the scent of incense mingled with an iron tang. A skull tree loomed in the yard, its branches adorned with macabre talismans, and beneath its roots, officers unearthed a sacrificial husk, human or beast. The reports blur in redacted ink. You circle the perimeter, heart hammering, and the wind rattles the eaves like skeletal laughter. Push open the creaking door, and the air inside coils around you, heavy with the residue of forbidden oaths. Legends swirl of Satan worshippers or a veiled Ku Klux Klan enclave, their hoods traded for robes in moonlit basements where chants echoed like thunder in a crypt. The DuPont ghosts, clad in tattered finery, are said to reenact their drownings in nearby ponds, their pleas bubbling up through the muck. You tread on warped floors, boards groaning underfoot, and catch a flicker. A child's handprint on the wall, smeared in something that never quite dries. The house breathes, it seems, inhaling your fear and exhaling malice. Venture deeper into the cellar, where damp stone walls press close, and the drip of unseen water mimics a heartbeat. Tales from weathered diaries recount orgies of the profane, where old money mingled with the occult, birthing pacts that curse the bloodline for generations. A single lantern swings, casting shadows that writhe like serpents, and you swear you hear the rustle of robes, survivors, or shades. The road outside calls you back, but the threshold holds you. a magnetic pull of the profane, where the line between legend and ledger blurs in the gloom. Finally, you flee the mansion, the road uncoiling like a serpent's spine. But the weight lingers, a prickle on your neck, the conviction that you've brushed the hem of something eternal and vile. Police archives sealed tight hint at rituals that left scars on the land itself, while survivors' kin mutter of visitations that shatter sleep. You accelerate into the night, but the Devil's Road remembers. It's asphalt, etched with the footprints of the fallen. What lingers in your rear view? Ghosts or a glimpse of the truth? So let's take a moment. Let's let that marinate a bit. And why don't we get into the chat? I want to know if any of you have had similar experiences to the type of things that occur on the Devil's Road. Are there areas in your hometown that lick at the fringes of fear? Long abandoned edifices that stand as testaments to the horror that occurred within their walls. You know, I can distinctly recall as a young man on the edges of the city of Philadelphia stood a behemoth of a building, a complex, if you will. It was the Byberry State Hospital for the mentally insane. Byberry became famous after a magazine expose revealed the horrific conditions suffered by the poor souls interred there. I believe it was the early 1990s when long ago now, when asylums across this nation were shut down and the mentally ill and criminally insane were let loose among the population. Some say these asylums might be needed today to handle the epidemic of unwell people out there. And one would assume, if they've been paying any attention to the cultural contagion that has polluted our zeitgeist for the last decade, and maybe there's truth to the argument that the asylums could help. But I digress. See Tina asking regarding that Discord link. Yeah, Tina, I do see the Discord link. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm going to pin it at the top of the chat. All right. It is now pinned at the top of the chat. I'm going to copy that link address. I will go ahead and repost that after the end of the stream as a comment. And we will follow up with that. So, yes, there was once an asylum, very famous on the edges of Philadelphia. And you would see these similar allegations leveled against this land and this building, that it was a meeting place for Satanists and hate groups, that its halls were haunted by the specters of those who suffered amongst them. And it was in very terrible conditions before it was torn down. It sat for many years, a place where local teens would venture forth a little breaking and entering against the abandoned building to instill that kind of youthful fear, the thrills that those at that age seem to seek. I can neither confirm nor deny if this bad boy was one of those explorers. But I will say, if a young man like myself was given the opportunity to roam those horrid halls, you'd probably just take the chance. Now, if you are curious, you can find more pictures of the Byberry Asylum on there, and I only use this as a comparison to the story that we just mentioned regarding the cult house on the Devil's Road. So I'm going to pop into the chat now that we've given you an example here and to discuss the story. See if any of you got anything to say regarding this and your own experiences with these kind of things in your local area. Let's see. As I said before, you do not necessarily need to super chat to get my attention. Ginger Viking Jesus is in the chat right now. He gives you a prime example of how you want to get a hold of me. If you're not super chatting, just write at Dark Sayings in the chat because it appears bright orange for me and it draws my attention to your comment. So I will go ahead and address Ginger's at this moment. Ginger says, what are your thoughts on the Mountain Dew catastrophe theory, Dark Sayings? I do not know what that is, Ginger Viking Jesus. I have never heard of such a thing. I do not really keep up on beverage-related conspiracies as they relate to Frito-Lay's or PepsiCo. you know what I mean? I don't know. Tina, do I need the Discord link again? No, thank you, Tina. I did see it there. And I go ahead and pin to the top of the chat. All right. Well, I've been jabbering on for a minute. I'm checking around to see if anybody's got any stories of their own to share regarding these type of haunted locales. And it doesn't seem to be the case. So with that in mind, I guess we'll just keep on keeping on, right? We'll just keep on keeping on. Okay. All right. So let's roll into our next story here. The seventh topic we have of tonight. Now, this is an interesting one that kind of pops up from time to time. Been a little diminished since the main subject of the story is now deceased, but we'll get into it a bit. It is regarding the Maitreya, as championed by Benjamin Creme and Share International. Was this man a messiah, as they claimed, or a harbinger of the end? So we're going to shift now to the veiled salons of London, where a silver-tongued prophet once proclaimed to be a savior's arrival amid the clamor of modern doubt. Benjamin Creme and his Share International heralded Maitreya as the world teacher, a figure of unity veiled in our mists. But to some, this beacon casts a long shadow of the Antichrist. Inhale the incense of revelation and let prophecy unfold. So you're in a dimly lit lecture hall. The air is humming with anticipation as Benjamin Creme takes the stage. He's an artist turned oracle, and his voice is a measured cadence weaving prophecy from the aether. From the late 1970s, he channeled a divine directive, the Maitreya, the awaited one from Buddhist lore. And he claimed that he had descended on London, dwelling incognito among the throngs. Share International was his vessel of dissemination, flooding the world with pamphlets and broadcasts, proclaiming the Christ-like emissary as a harbinger of a new age. There, you lean forward, the weight of the words pressing like a hand on your shoulder. Maitreya walks among us, a silent sentinel. Now, if you will, I ask you to picture the fog-veiled streets of Brick Lane, where Maitreya, dark-robed, unassuming, mingles with immigrants and dreamers, his gaze piercing the veil of illusion. So Creme, he would detail these visions of this figure, emerging from Asia particularly, a master of compassion whose miracles would, shatter doubt. Water turned into wine in Kenya, roses materializing in Japanese hands. Share International's network of mediators attuned to his transmissions felt the pulse of a global awakening. You wander these alleyways, your senses are heightened, wondering if the man brushing past is the one whose return the ages have awaited. But pause amid the adulation, for a chill wind rises from evangelical quarters. Constance Crumbly, attorney and sentinel of Scripture, branded Maitreya as the Antichrist incarnate, a deceiver cloaked in benevolence. twisting unity into subjugation. Krem countered in interviews, dissecting the biblical beast as a symbol of materialism's fall, not a singular fiend. Yet the parallel gnaws. A figure uniting faiths, performing signs, emerging in turmoil. Echoes of Revelation's wolf in sheep's garb. You sift the texts, the air thickening with the scent of brimstone and balm. Envision mass gatherings in the 1980s where Krem's followers invoked the Maitreya's Day of Declaration. This is a kind of a televisual epiphany poised to flood every screen with truth. Share International's archives brim with testimonials, healings in the shadows of famine, whispers guiding the lost. Krem, trained by a master of wisdom since youth, framed this as an esoteric evolution, not an apocalypse. You stand in the crowd, the broadcast static crackling like divine static. Heart torn between hope's dawn and dread's encroaching dusk. Now, Krem's passing left the prophecy hanging. Maitreya's emergence deferred, yet insistent in Cher's missives. Evangelical tomes decry it as a great delusion, a false light leading multitudes astray. You close the book, the room dimming as if judgment lingers at its threshold. Was this the shepherd or serpent? The question coils in your gut. A serpent's hiss in the silence. So what are your thoughts on this modern Messiah? I will say, from my perspective, there used to be a lot more Maitreya talk going on in years past. And very much so, the passing of Benjamin Krem, I think, is 100% responsible for its decline. Yeah, see, with the passing of Benjamin Krem, now I believe Share International is still operating. But Krem was really the herald of this Maitreya figure, you know, like he traveled the world doing like these lecture tours. He did the books. It's my understanding he never made a dime off of it either. Like he was a true believer in this stuff. Like it was not about making money for Benjamin Krem. This dude was a true believer. Now, a lot of the those of the Christian persuasion would immediately compare this Maitreya stuff to some Antichrist kind of thing, and I don't really see it like that myself. I can understand why. I mean, I'm not going to dismiss it out of hand as if it's impossible. This is some kind of Antichrist figure, but I feel like it's more of like your run of the mill false prophet. You know, this guy. I mean, he's not. Maybe the day of declaration that they refer to is the day that Maitreya makes himself known to the world, and that has not occurred yet. You know. And Benjamin Krem was always teasing like this was, weeks away. But it's been quite some time now. And it's my understanding that at this point, the Maitreya would probably be aged about early 50s if they are here on Earth, as suggested by Share International and Benjamin Krem. But, I don't know. I've never really bought too much into this one. So we're going to dip in and see what you guys think. I can't see the chat without my peepers, so I pop them on. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm seeing a couple of addressing me directly here. Where's that one at? Is that way up? That is way up. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this isn't caught up. We double check. Where are we at here? Okay, no, we are caught up. Okay. I wasn't sure the chats were lined up the way they should be. Oh, my eye is so itchy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, ever since that eye surgery, my eye feels so dry. It's constantly itching and rubbing and itching. I got this whole thing where I like to touch my feet and touch my face and touch a doorknob of a store and touch my mouth. Little game I like to play. It's called Contamination. I've been thinking about starting my own sports league based on the idea of the flaming mousetrap. Me and my buddies used to play this game when we were younger. We take the lighter fluid and the mousetrap and, basically make a game of it, You don't got to think too hard to think about what we're doing. I'm not going to outline it here. I don't want to inspire anybody to hurt themselves, but hey, flaming mousetrap, good times. Catch. Good times. But I think that'd be a pretty good professional league, You can have some kind of trebuchet that flings flaming mousetraps like in bulk. That'd be fun. All right. Okay. I'm being silly. Hey, Mayorto, what's going on? I was looking for a comment here. I haven't seen them in a while, but they're back. Mr. MH. Do you think that the negative energy left behind that causes the hauntings of specific locations, for example, murder, extreme abuse, etc., Mr. MH, that's not too far off from the idea of something like the stone tape theory that environments record events and that what we're seeing is generally just like a playback of an event that happened in the past. And I could kind of buy into that theory that like if an event is so profound that it imprints on the very environment in which it occurs. So I think there could be something to that. Hey, Dustin Harmon just arriving. Good to see you. Rattlejaw back from parts unknown. Good to see you, Rattlejaw. Thanks for tuning on in. Been a minute. Always a pleasure. Mayorto with a comment here regarding a Staten Island. There was a legend of Cropsey, a sort of boogeyman to scare children. It turned out to be a true story of a guy who was left behind when the asylum closed. Yeah, man, that's great. That's great. That's weird stuff, and I love it. I can't get enough of that weird shit. Dustin Harmon, Pete in this community got me through a lot of lifing. Well, I'm glad we could be there for you. I'm sorry if I haven't been so consistent over the years, but we've all got lifing at us, to be honest. But I have been endeavoring to kind of correct my absence here on the platform and make up for lost time. I missed the creative endeavor, and it's glad to be back in the saddle. I gotta juice my eyeball every 22 seconds, or it feels like there's sand in it after they did that surgery. Where they cut the sclera, it's got scar tissue on it now. It feels like sand in my eye. It's fun. That's how it goes. Eyeballs. Eyeballs. All right. Rattlejaw a little late tonight. What is our topic? So Rattlejaw, we just blasted through a couple topics here. We started with the Cult House and the Devil's Road in Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania, and we segued that into the topic we're just wrapping up now, which would be the regarding the Sheridan National and Benjamin Creme and the story of the Maitreya, which some believe to be an Antichrist figure. Now, I mean, he might be a Antichrist, but is it the Antichrist? I don't know about all that. In Buddhism, the Maitreya is that big fat Buddha. Like sometimes Buddha's skinny. That's Siddhartha. The fat Buddha is Maitreya, and that Buddha is supposed to come along at the end of the world. But I think that Buddha is also like 60 feet tall and immortal. So I mean, there's a lot to that. All right, I'm not gonna parse hairs here, but we're gonna keep moving right along. Okay. Our third topic. Now, you know how much I love this kind of stuff. I tend to gravitate toward these stories, more often than not. So anytime they are afforded my gaze, I definitely affix my eyes to them. This next story is regarding some giants, because I do love the giant mythology and anything associated with the idea of ancient biblical giants. Pretty much fascinated with the antediluvian world as a whole. But our third topic of the evening are the giants of Lovelock Cave. Were these the colossi of the dust or phantoms of the plains? So I want you to transport yourself back to this scorched badlands of Nevada, where the sun beats down like a hammer on ancient stone. And the wind, it carries this like faint moan of colossal bones, long silence. Lovelock Cave, a yawning maw in Humboldt Ridge. It cradles legend of Setecha, these red-haired titans who devoured tribes and defied the stars. where these giants with flesh and fury on the fevered forge of Paiute firelight enter the cavern and taste the dust of epochs. So you crouch at this entrance, flashlight beam slicing through the gloom, and the air is stale with like a millennium's breath of guano and gypsum laced with the tang of like forgotten hunts. In 1911, miners dynamited the depths, unearthing duck decoys woven from tule reeds, baskets etched with serpents, and mummified forms wrapped in cunning fiber. The Paiute elders gathered, eyes narrowing, recounting the Se-Te-Cha, pale-skinned behemoths, 8 to 12 feet tall, their hair like flame, who feasted on kin and kind alike. You inch deeper, the walls closing like jaws. So you feel this tremor of like ancient war drums as this tale unfolds. The Paiute, like lithe and swift, hurl, they lured these cannibals to Lovelock's mouth, torching the entrance in a blaze that scorched the stars. The smoke was billowing, the screams were echoing, and the giant's empire crumbled to ash. Excavators later sifted through the strata, pulling forth sandals sized for titans, arrows tipped with bone and jaws that gaped wider than a man's arm span. You trace a petroglyph, a hulking figure looming over hunters, its shadow your own. Kneel amid the rubble, gloved hands parting layers from 2000 BC to the 19th century, duck effigies, Atlantis, the detritus of survival. A 1970s university probe measured the skeletons 6 feet on average, robust, but no colossi. Their red locks perhaps henna, or myths die. Yet anomalies persist. Oversized skulls unearthed in the 1930s, shipped to museums and vanished in bureaucratic fog. You hold a shard of pottery etched with a giant's stride, the clay warm as if fired yesterday. Huddled by an imagined campfire, the Paiute storyteller's voice is low and rhythmic, pairing the Se-Te-Cha as invaders from shadowed lands, their eyes like embers, bows strung with sinew from the slain. Artifacts whisper corroboration, woven traps for colossal prey, quivers for arrows twice the length. Skeptics murmur of tall tales initiated by isolation, but the cave's guano layers seal stories of conflict, flames that birthed a legend. You fan the embers, sparks dancing like fleeting spirits. Emerge blinking into the blaze of day. The cave's mouth a scar on the ridge. But the weight clings. Did those bones whisper of a race stamped out? Or a people's pottery etched in stone? Reports of giant relics scattered across Nevada's waste fuel the fire. A chorus of colossal what-ifs. You scan the horizon, half expecting a red mane to crest the dunes. There we go. There it is. The giants. The giants are here. There's giants here. You know, I don't have to tell you, there's giants here, man. These giants, he's a sexual Tyrannosaurus. All right. Fat Buddha is the Buddhai. That's his name. Maitreya is the future Buddha, a messianic-like figure, not fat, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he can be fat or not. I mean, he's an enlightened being, whatever he wants to do. Whatever he wants to do. A lot of us are fat. I mean, come on. I look like somebody filled a sock with ground beef. That's what happened to me. I feel like I should be perched on the side of a Gothic cathedral to help facilitate rainwater runoff, you know? That's kind of where I'm at now. And I used to be very, very vain, but I don't have a reason to be anymore because my face looks like mashed potatoes been kicked across barbershop floor. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? All right. Okay, let's see. Lick them doorknobs. Pete's been doing a few topics in each stream, which I've been loving. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I tried to mix it up. Mr. MH Gettysburg Ghost, thank you. That's a good suggestion. Gettysburg Ghost is definitely a good suggestion. Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on there. A lot of good stuff in that regard. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Moving right along. Okay, we're on to topic number 4 here. This is a pretty good one. We're going to get into this in a minute. One of my more favorite topics, I would have to say. I really do enjoy this one. I kind of went down a rabbit hole years ago when I first started doing all this. I'd say a year before the channel was launched, I was already doing all kinds of crazy research for it. And when I came across the Metatron stuff, it was because I was going down the rabbit hole of alchemy. But, I digress. So, topic number 4, the Archangel Metatron. Is this a celestial scribe or a forbidden intermediary? So ascend now to the throne room of infinity, where thunder rolls in symphonies of light and the air vibrates with the scratch of an eternal quill. The Archangel Metatron, once Enoch the Righteous, stands as heaven's chronicler, a form of a blaze of sacred geometry. He is a divine advocate or an occult enigma, bridging the chasm between creator and clay. Spread your wings and soar into the Empyrean. You're Enoch, a flesh-bound visionary, ascending through veils of flame, your body transmuting in a crucible of glory. Kabbalistic tomes recount your elevation, the third patriarch, scribed into Metatron, prince of the presence, his name a sigil of one who guards, or throne bearer, enfolded in God's chariot. You witness the cosmos unfold, stars scripted like verse, the air crackles with your now new essence, wings of flame unfurling. Perch upon the firmament's edge, quill in hand, as Metatron inscribes the Akashic Tome, every deed, every breath, etched in luminous ink. He rules the seraphim, those six-winged pyres, and mediates for Israel. His voice a conduit from the mercy seat to the mortal plane. In Enochian lore, he unveils the Merkabah's secrets, guiding souls through labyrinths of light. You dip your pen, the page shimmering with fates foretold. Descend into shadowed scriptoria, where Talmudic whispers paint Metatron as an angel of death, directing Gabriel and Samael in the harvest of souls. Yet controversy coils, rabbis debating his deification, fearing idolatry's snare, while Islamic hersiographers describe him as God as old man. Occult grimoires invoke his cube, a lattice of spheres and lines, blueprint of creation. You trace the pattern, lines pulsing like veins. Stand at the divide. Metatrons form a colossus of crystalline fire, interceding with pleas that pierce the veil. He teaches the adept the path of ascent. His sigils ward against chaos. In visionary trances, he manifests as guides, his presence a thunderclap of insight. You extend a hand, feeling the bridges tremor, divine or daring presumption. So gaze into the void beyond the throne, where Metatron's watch endures, his ledger the axis of all. From Enoch's clay to angelic blaze, he embodies transformations, terror, and triumph. You withdraw, the quill's echo fading, but its weight remains. Intermediary or idol, his light illuminates or blinds. There's just a little bit of angelic lore, not really much truth to that. A lot of the angelic stuff is really cooked up during the Middle Ages. I'm not going to say what's true and what's not. I wasn't there. But, some of this might have occurred, even if 1% did. That's pretty fascinating. So, yeah, we keep that in mind. We definitely keep that in mind. Okay. All right. Okay. Just getting caught up here. Okay. Ginger Viking Jesus wishes he still had some of his ancestral DNA. So listen, I'm just going to step away for a moment. Voice very scratchy. Need to get a beverage. So if you will bear with me, I will be right back. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, I'm back. Thanks for your patience. Apologize for the delay. Very unprofessional tonight. I'm fast and loose. Fast and loose. All right. Hey. Hey, TWTG content. What's up, Courtney Fellowship of Oddballs? Mr. Mackey 2099. RR, what's up? How you doing? All right, folks. We barreled through 4 topics tonight. Coming up on the close of the show here, so we're going to do our last topic for the evening here. And we're going to just get right into it. So we have a little time for the Q&A at the end. Last topic of the evening. Project Pegasus. Chronal pawns in a temporal labyrinth. So, I want you to plunge into the humming bowels of a classified bunker. Fluorescent buzz warring with the whine of untethered machinery. Where time folds like paper under forbidden hands. Project Pegasus, the CIA's alleged chrononaut forge, thrust children through Tesla's veil, Andrew Basiago among them, into Mars's red dust and Lincoln's shadowed podium. Was this mastery of moments or madness unbound? Grip the chronorail. Let's leap. So you're a 6-year-old yanked from suburban normalcy into a vaulted chamber, the air electric with ozone and dread. Late 1960s labs, veiled in black budgets, harnessed Tesla's radiant coils, vortexes of chronal energy, ripping seams in space-time. Basiago recounts the jump. A chamber's maw engulfs you, reality shearing like wet silk, depositing you amid Gettysburg cannon smoke. November 1863. The crowd oblivious to your pint-sized intrusion. The ground quakes with history's pulse. Rematerialize on Mars's rust-veiled plains, the thin air clawing at your lungs. Domed habitats glinting under alien suns. Basiago claims reconnaissance leaps. Young operatives scouting extraterrestrial outposts, encountering feline sentinels, and Barack Obama, a fellow child traveler. The tech, chronovisors peering timelines, projectors hurling flesh through wormholes. You stumble across crimson dunes, the weight of worlds pressing, whispers of Martian exodus echoing. Back in the bunker, debriefs blur with vertigo. Visions of alternate threads where jumps snag casualties hem. Basiago, Ivy League educated whistleblower, details the program's sprawl from 1962 to 1972. DARPA's shadow puppeteers groomed jump kids for espionage eternal. Skeptics dismiss it as delusion. No manifest or manifest on Earth, yet anomalies persist. Basiago's jump scars, tales of vril-fueled voyages. You reel from the flux, timelines tangling like vines. Fast forward to podiums and podcasts. Basiago's voice steady, unveiling photos of youthful selves amid Lincoln's throng. The program, he insists, birthed chronal spies, teleportees to Ford's Theater, Mars colonies veiled in red haze. No declassification drips corroborate, but the narrative grips. A government's grasp on yesterday and tomorrow. Children as keys. You sift the claims, the air humming with displaced time. Collapse back to now. The machine's whine fades, but the disorientation clings. Did Pegasus pierce the veil or weave a web of whispers? Basiago's odyssey from child pawn to presidential bid challenges the chronal cage. You emerge, the present sharper, wondering if time bends, what breaks? So we can spend some time unwinding theories of time's fragility. So, there we stand, breathless at the abyss's edge. Our journey through these 5 infernal whispers drawing to a close. Now the floor is yours. Pour your questions into the live chat, and we'll navigate 3 to 5 of them together over the next 10 minutes, dissecting the Devil's Road Curse or Metatron sigils with unflinching gaze. To those who super chatted tonight, your generosity lights the shadows. Thank you profoundly for fueling this descent. And to every soul who's lingered here in the midnight hour, your presence transforms echo into chorus. Gratitude beyond measure for sharing in this vigil. Now, if these enigmas have stirred the embers of your curiosity, please subscribe now. Ring that bell to summon future summons and share this session with fellow wanderers of the world. So let's get into your questions here, folks. Also, I'm going to reiterate a few things that we mentioned at the top of the show. First up, we are doing a midnight mystery session hangout as soon as the show concludes over in Discord. If you need an invite to the Discord, I have pinned one to the top of this chat. Likewise, I will provide one as soon as this chat concludes in a comment beneath the video, so that if you miss it, you will be able to grab that link and join us. Simply navigate to the Discord, click on the live chat button in the channel list, and you will be able to join us there for some conversation. Cameras on or off, it's up to you. I generally leave mine on because I'm so damn pretty. But yeah, definitely consider joining us for some conversation tonight. We'll hang out for a little bit, chew the fat, get into it. We had a good time. It was Guru Augie was there last time. We had some fun. Tina Tomazuski hung out for a little bit. TWCG content came along one time. Is that right? I think I believe so. Ginger Viking Jesus, Rick Sanchez hung out one night. So we had a good time. So yeah, if you want to chew the fat, hang out a little bit, we're going to be doing that on the Discord. Link pinned at the top of the chat. Lastly, next week's Midnight Mystery session will be preempted. We will not be conducting a show next Saturday night. In lieu of Saturday night show, we will be doing a Halloween special. That will take place Friday, the 31st. I have not decided whether or not it will be either at 9 or 10 p.m. I'm leaning towards 10 because immediately concluding my Halloween live stream, I will be joining the Unbelievers podcast for their live stream at 11 p.m. So you're going to get a double tap of Dark Sayings followed by a Dark Sayings Unbelievers collaboration. So we're talking at least a 2-hour block of content there. And I know how Russ Ryan likes to go over the Unbelievers. We'll probably be going well into the night. So join us on Halloween for a special. And like I said at the top of the show, if there are any subjects that you'd like me to cover for Halloween, anything particular, I was thinking I'd really lean into the paranormal. We do a lot of alien stuff here. So I'll probably lean into more ghost stories that evening, mix in a few monsters and such. But we'll get into that. And if you have any suggestions, please hit me up in my DMs, whether it's on X or Instagram with your ideas. And we'll see if we can incorporate them into the Halloween show. So let's see. Any questions in the chat? I'm going to check for any ats that might be directed at me. So we'll see. Guru Augie. Nice talking with last week, but the Smithsonian has the Giants hidden from us. I agree, Guru. I agree. Augie, you're absolutely right. Join us in the Discord. We'll discuss it further. What else? Where are we at? You know what? I'm going to look at the chat over here. It's easier for me to see. I'll jump in the Discord if people are still there when I get home. Sounds good. TWTG content. I should still be there hanging out. Mr. Mackey is talking about Big Dick Randy. Mr. Mackey, it sounds like you are a fan of the musical artist Digbar, as I am as well. Tina has long had to hear me sing that song, 3 Big Balls, incessantly. Also, 4 Big Guys. There's another rapper of a similar vein whose name I will not say on the air, as it would be problematic. Not that I particularly care, but I like to keep my channel. So, yeah, there's another rapper, but he's got some pretty good songs along the same vein as Digbar. But if you do like Digbar's content, we can talk about those kind of rappers in the Discord as well. Fun stuff. Oh, Mr. Mackey says, you know, hell yes. And don't forget 2 little dudes. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Mackey, I gotta play some stuff for you. If you're in a Discord, I'm gonna play you some crazy shit. I love that kind of rap, man. Like that stuff, dude. It's so good. Oh my god. Tina will tell you, Tina Tell him about with that 3 big balls. I would not stop with that. I could not get enough of that. It is so funny. Oh my God. Dude, Mr. Mackey. I love it when I run into somebody who knows the hell I'm talking about. All right, cool. Maybe I'll pop. I got some funny memes I've been saving from the Instagram. Oh my God, the guy at the urinal with the khaki pants. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. Yeah, maybe we'll get into some just goofy stuff. Yeah, Dick Bar is a lyrical genius. And I think it's all just a joke to him. I don't even think that he's serious. I really think it's all just a joke. That's what makes it even better. That's what makes it even better. All right. Guru Augie, the project sounds like Project Serpo. Now, Augie, I believe it was last week we mentioned Project Serpo. Project Pegasus, that was Andrew Basagio and like the chrono jumps. They were like jumping through time and stuff. Now, specifically, I know with Andrew Basagio, he claimed that he went back to the Gettysburg Address and that he didn't have shoes. So, like, a cobbler gave him shoes that were too big. And supposedly, there's a photograph that exists of like a 6-year-old boy in giant shoes. That was him. Why they were sending 6-year-olds back in time to witness these events is crazy to me. That's what makes no sense. That's what makes no sense. Did you ever do a video on the works of Carlos Castaneda and Don Juan? Rattlejaw, no. You know what's crazy? Because I have done stuff on their contemporaries. Like I've done stuff about like Voltaire and Saint Germain, Casanova. But you know what? You're right. Like I've never considered that, and I really should venture down those roads. You know what? And that's the thing. Like, listen, I have always been open to suggestion. If you are watching this stream, feel free. Like, even if you want to reach out to me in DM, leave a comment. Let me know what topics you'd like me to cover. I've done so many over the years. I've got spreadsheets of the topics. I've got all kinds of nonsense going on. But I love the input. I really do. I want to address stuff that you're interested in. So whatever you say there, Rattlejaw, definitely. That's something we could definitely get into. All right. Well, the hour draws to a close. And that's going to do it for this week. Like I said, join us next week on Halloween, about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a Dark Sayings Halloween special, followed immediately by I will be guesting with the Unbelievers on the Unbeliever Podcast YouTube channel for a live stream celebrating Halloween over there at 11 p.m. So double shot Halloween night. Dark Sayings, Unbelievers, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on their channel. So, yeah, join us for that at the end of the week. I have some shorts that are going up this week. I'm going to clip some of these excerpts from the live stream. I've also got a video going out regarding Project Bluebeam, since that's kind of in the zeitgeist right now. And it should be pretty good. I'm thinking about doing some new merch. It's been a while since I refreshed the store. I might just clear the whole thing out and do like one item for a limited time. And when it retires, and we'll do a new item and we'll run that for a limited time. I think maybe that's the way to go rather than just flooding the store with a bunch of crap. Maybe we'll do like a standard Dark Sayings t-shirt, and then we'll do like special editions that we release for a limited time and then retire as we move along. You may remember back in the day, there was a limited edition shirt I did called what was it? King Dick of Fuck Mountain. I don't know if you remember that one. That sold pretty well. Ginger, I think, did you get one? I think Ginger might have one. And the Draconian shirt always sold good. But I'd like to get some new stuff together. It's been a while since I've refreshed the store. I feel like everything's a little old, a little stale. So we might move in the route of just doing like limited releases once upon a time here and there. No, Ginger. I see what you're talking about. The meme template of the creep. No, this is something entirely different. This is like a guy. He plays a dual role in a one-man performance. It's just I can't even describe it accurately and do it justice. But if you pop into that Discord, I'll play it for everybody. All right, that's gonna do it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us this week. I do appreciate your time, your energy, and your contribution to this community. Thanks to Junior Viking Jesus for the super chat. Do appreciate you, man. Thank you all for tuning in. A link to the Discord at the top. Thanks to Team Tomazuski. Everybody have a wonderful night. Until the next time, the veil thins. Walk wary in the world's fractures. Good night. May the arcane spare you its full embrace. And until next time, see you in the shadows.